Hey residents of Meepletown, today we are alchemists trying to unlock the coveted Philosopher's Stone in Trismegistus by Board and Dice. I say let's just get this thing to the table and let's check out Trismegistus. All right, Meepletown, so we have Trismegistus set up and we're ready to play now. As always, I'm just going to dive in and show you the gameplay, and by the end of this, you'll actually have a good idea of how the game is played. This is about a weight of a 4 on the BGG scale, so you may not know every nuance on how the game is played, but you're going to have a really good idea, again, of what the gameplay looks like and how to play the game when we're finished with this video. Of course, I'm going to have the review at the end of this. So, with that being said, we are alchemists, and we are trying to get the coveted Philosopher's Stone by completing experiments, by taking formulas then after we complete the experiments and putting them into our vault. But let's just say, let me start off by saying we all start off with a master experiment, a publication card, an artifact, and a starting experiment. So let me just talk really briefly before we dive into the gameplay, and let's talk about what these experiments actually look like. So, in order for us to complete an experiment, we have to have these refined materials, okay? We not only have to have these refined materials, we have to be up 2 on this fire track here. And so let's just look at this track down here. So we're going to have to be up 2 on this track to even be able to complete the experiment. So let's go back to the card. Then after that, what we have down here is any bonuses that we may be unlocking after the experiment. And then we have victory points. So anytime you see the snake eating his tail here, those can be victory points in this game. Okay, with that being said, I have a master experiment here that I'm going to be trying to complete, which nothing new. It's just going to be a lot of refined materials in order to complete that. Of course, it's worth a lot of victory points if I'm able to do that at the end of the game. And then you can look after be 10 on that track, which is pretty heavy. Now, these are publications, and we start off with one of these, and we can also acquire these as the game progresses. And what this is going to say that if we have 3 fire, and now you're going to see the fire like on our artifacts in different places. If we can fulfill this up here, we're going to get 2 victory points per wave that we have down here as well. So anyway, I'll talk about that in more detail kind of as we progress, but let's dive in and let's start playing. So these are hidden, so no one is able to see those. This is what I need to do. I need to get this experiment completed. So I've got to think of doing several different ways to get this. Several things I have to do to get this thing completed. I need this refined material and this refined material. We all start off with these raw materials right here. So in order for me to turn these raw materials into refined materials, I have to transmute them. So, all right, the first thing we do on our turn is we are going to draft a die if we do not have one up here. So the first thing I'm going to do, because I know that I need to transmute black, and because I might get like a little bit of a fire engine going in this game. So I'm going to take this black die right here, and what we do is we take this die, we count how many, including the one we pick, we have in this bowl. That's 4. We're going to put ourselves up 4 on the potency track. Now, you may notice that there's an ethereal die over here that my opponent has. Now, she could use this. You can add 1 of these only to your die to be able to move it up 1, and then it's tossed. Now, she has 1 and I don't have 1 because she is the second player, and that's one of the bonuses you get for being the second player. So I'm going to choose this die, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately spend 1 potency. And when I spend a potency, I have to also get rid of an essence, and I start with 3 essences here in order to transmute a material. So what I want to do is go up on this fire track, and that is this symbol right here. So that means I'm going to get rid of that symbol's essence, toss it away, spent a potency, and now I'm going to go up and I've transmuted that. And because I spent that essence, I'm going to move up on this track. So I'm well on my way in 1 move. I just need to be 2 up on this fire track here to be able to complete this, because I've already got the raw material right here. So if I can transmute this raw material and get up 2 on there, then I'm going to be able to complete that. Okay, that's cool. Now what she's going to do is she has this card right here. Let me just show you her experiment card so you can see what this looks like. So she's going to be looking at getting these 2 refined materials, and she needs to be up on this mountain track right here. These are some bonuses she's going to get, some raw materials she'll get if she completes this. So with that being said, she needs to do some refining herself. That means, let's see here, she needs to be able to go up on this track the same way I did, but she also needs, She needs both of these. And so this is what I'm going to do for her, actually, with her. What you can do in this game is you have these reactions. It's a really interesting way to have some player interaction without some fighting, which I like. And so after I make my move, she is able to react against it. And she's going to react against what the move I just did by flipping this reaction token over, meaning I cannot use this. She cannot use that again until she's able to flip it back over at the end of the round or some other way. And one of the things she can do when she reacts to it is she can transmute herself. She can transmute herself. She could grab another raw material. So there's several different things that she's able to do, or she could grab an essence, or flip over her artifact here. Okay, so she flipped this over, and that means she's going to transmute, and she needs one of these blue and one of the red refined. So what she's going to do actually is she's going to transmute over this, because this is where she placed her artifact. Whenever you transmute something over an artifact, you'll see what happens. So she's going to transmute here, which then of course she has to spend one of her essences in order to do that. And she again reacted. Now she needs to go up on this mountain track here, which means she needs to spend this triangle essence here. So she will be able to go up one on that track. And now that she's done that, she's transmuted that. Now she gets to use this artifact, which means she gets 2 of any of these essences. And because she needs to go up 2 on this mountain track, she's thinking, that's perfect. She wants another of these triangles, so she gets one of her triangles back. And then she's thinking of what other one that she might go for in the future. She's actually thinking that she likes... Yeah, she's going to take this right here, this little like wheel. So she's going to get one of the triangles, and then she's going to grab one of these wheels here as well. So now this does get flipped over, and the same way as the reaction token, unless you can flip it back over by, like I said, she could react against one of my things to flip it back over, or at the end of the round they do get flipped over. So she won't be able to keep getting that bonus unless she can get that thing flipped back over. Now that's just her reaction. Now it's her turn. And what she's going to do on her turn is she is going to... Let's see here. She's going to take this black die right here because she likes this experiment. And she's going to go ahead, and it's 3 potency. 1, 2, 3. Now, she could spin this to make it 4, but she's going to hold on to that for now. And then what she's going to do is she's going to spin that black die and her essence in order to transmute black. So black and black here. I hope I may not have made mention of that, and I apologize, y'all. It has to be the color of how you're transmuting it. So a black die can only do these 2, white die does these 2, and red does those 2. So my absolute sincere apologies there. She's going to spend her essence, and she's going to go on this black to have, now she's got those there. Now she goes up this track again, and in on her very first move, by reacting against what I did and then doing her move, she's actually going to have this card completed. So she's going to take her refined material, the red, this blue refined material. She's already on 2, so she has this sucker completed already. That's pretty amazing. And then her bonus is going to be, as I mentioned, she gets 2 of these type of raw materials. So we're going to go ahead and put those up in there. And then she's got to refine another raw material that she's able to get. And she's actually looking at this and thinking that if she wants to get this, then she's going to be able to get that. She's going to be able to get that. And that. So she's actually got everything she needs. Is why she wants this one so bad. So for a raw, she's going to grab... All right, she's going to grab this just because she can go up pretty far in this track. Now, this silver and the gold, these things can be worth a lot. The gold is going to be another way to get formulas, which I'm going to talk about right now. So now that this is completed, she has her bonus. She's going to get 3 victory points at the end of the game. Let me move this out of the way. Try to get all this in one shot here. I'm going to move this back. She's going to tuck this under here. Then what she's going to do is she's going to get one of these vaults, formulas to put in her vault. This chameleon allows her to grab one of these tokens, which would then allow her to, at any given point in time, use a dice or a symbol or a color. Any of them, make her die when she's using it, any color, any symbol. That's not bad, but she likes this because she likes going up on this track here so that she can get more experiments and also maybe maybe go ahead and just jump on this to get a bonus. And that's exactly what let's see what she does. Let's see. So she's going to put this now into where her Philosopher's Stone is. If any time she completes a row or a column, she'll get the bonus for unlocking that. So that's pretty nice. Now, in order to get this, she cannot, if she puts another green experiment card, it does not unlock this. You can only unlock each one of these colors once by putting it's your first experiment of that color. Now, the other way to unlock the other 4 then is going to be giving up gold. Your first one cost 1, your second one cost 2, third one 3, fourth one 4. So anyway, gold's really important in the game to be able to get those formulas done. So now she's going to go up 2 tracks. She's looking here and seeing that she needs to be up 3 on this track. She thought about going up here because this this symbol right here means she can jump and already go up to number 5, but she really needs to get up on that track as well. So she's actually just going to go ahead and she's going to take 1 of each, because she has enough to get the 3 with some transmutation. So she's going to take 1 up here on the fire. Then she's going to come over here to this wave and grab that one as well. Now that's her turn. And I'm thinking, you know what? I wouldn't mind reacting to what she's doing, actually, because I need to get... Oh, I can't react to what she's doing. I can, but it's not going to give me what I want because I need a white die to be able to fulfill this. I was really hoping she would choose a white die, but she didn't. And that's okay. I'm just trying to think if I need to react now or wait. I think I'm going to wait for the moment and not react. Okay, so now it's back to my turn. And let's see what I'm going to do. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Let's do this. So you can spend 3... potency, which is a ton in this game, as you can see here. You're not going to get 3 potency a whole lot, or you might get it at the beginning of your turn, and that wipes out your whole round. Not your whole round, but the first part of your turn. But what I can do is I can get another artifact for 3 potency. So what I could do is I kind of have a fire engine that I might want to build a little bit here. Now, I can't just go heavy fire because I've got to be able to unlock all of these to complete my Philosopher's Stone. But here at the beginning of the game, I'm thinking that I might want to do this. I have to take the black die, so I only have a choice between these 2 back here. I have a black die, so I have to pick between those 2. This allows me to that allows me to take a raw material and turn it into a different raw material and get a transmutation. Which, if I did that, then I could maybe by the end of this round actually do this because it doesn't matter what color. But wow, I would like to go up on that fire track. But let's do this so we can get this thing kicking as fast as we can. But you know what? No, it doesn't matter because I'm about to choose another die. Okay, so I'm going to spend all 3 of my potency, which takes it down to 0, which means I slide up into here. And I'm going to put this right... Sure. I would maybe put it here, but it's so close to the board. I'm not going to do that for this gameplay. So let's do that. Okay, I think I'm cool with that. All right, so now we're back with her side. And she's going to think, does she want to react against that or not? She only has 1 more reaction, so she's actually going to wait. She's going to simply spend 1 potency to grab this experiment, like I mentioned earlier, that she really wanted. And she's going to put that on her side. And that's going to be it. She's going to do that, and then it's going to be back to my turn. Now, I know that I need a white die if I want to be able to transmute on this white line so I can complete this experiment here. And so what I'm going to do is do just that. Let's see. Oh, I needed to put this here, by the way. Sorry. Since she took that experiment, I put that there. I'm trying to think of... Okay, let's do that. Like I said, I'm going to build a small fire engine. I'm going to build a fire engine. But I can't just go heavy on that. So I'm going to take 1 of these. I just took that symbol too. And I'm going to have to be, I just got to make sure I got to be up 2 on the fire track, which I'm only up 1, which means I need some more of this symbol here. Okay, yeah, but I can do that. Okay, what I'm going to do this, I'm going to take 1 of these, the center die here. And what you do with this is you actually flip it immediately over to any of the symbols. And so I'm going to flip it to this symbol right here. And I'm going to put it, it was from 3 of the bowl, so I'm going to put it right here in the 3. Then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spend 1 potency first to grab another one of these so that when I transmute, I'll be on 2 and I'll be able to complete my experiment on the next turn, which should be pretty nice. Okay, now she's thinking that she loves that I grabbed that white die there, because now she can go ahead and she's going to go ahead and do another reaction. She's going to react to what I did. She is going to spend, all right, so she needs to be up 3 here. She's going to spin this wheel and going to just go ahead and use this material and transmute that and go up on this track. So now she is well on her way. She's doing really well. She's got it going on over here. All right. Oops, better not knock my camera. All righty. So now that that's done, she has that black die. I'm not going to react against that either. I could have reacted though. That's a thought. I took that die just to get that. I need to be up that. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to get next. Because I didn't point out that one of the things that you do is if you take an essence, it has to be the essence that's next to the symbol here. All right. So one of the cool things about the one that she took is that you can pick any of the essences. So I'm pondering whether I should react against it so that I can take any essence that I want. And since I'm going to go kind of heavy fire, but I guess if I complete that, I'm going up fire. If I cross over that, I'm going to go up fire. I don't really need more fire. Then I'm just going to wait. I think I'm just going to wait. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to spend my 1 potency over here to then transmute this. Now that I've transmuted that, I do have to, of course, spend an essence, which I'll spend that one so that I can be up 2 on this track right here, which means that I can complete this card. So now that I'm completing this card, I'm up 2 on the fire. I've got these 2 refined materials, so I need to toss those away. And my bonus is that I get to go up 1 on the fire track. Now I'm going to slide this card in here like I did earlier for her. And I'm going to grab my formula. And oh man, that's tough. So this is 2 free mutations, or 2 mutations of any type, excuse me, not free. 2 mutations of any type, or 2 of these silvers here, which, wow, that might be the way to go. I think I'm going to take this so that I can grab those. Now, as you noticed with hers, she should have, and I need to go back and put that on the thing, she should have flipped this over whenever she used it. And you can only use that 1 time over the course of the game. So right now, I don't see any reason why not to flip this over, because it's just going to give me those materials. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. Flip that over and grab 2 of these materials right here. Okay, and I've got that completed. All right, so now we're back over to her. And one of the reasons I'm going towards some fire at the beginning of multiple ones of those is because whenever you have one that's completed here, it builds a little engine. So next time I want to build a fire, then what I do is I put that, I can pay 1 less, I can have 1 less on the track that I'm supposed to have, or pay 1 less material. So you get 2 or 3 of those, you can build stuff, you know, relatively quick, which is kind of neat. But again, you've got to get all different ones or you're going to struggle. All right, so she has this material here is what she's thinking. She does not have this, and she still has one more black dye transmutation, which is great. So she uses her last potency to, let's see, is she on 3 on this track? She is not. Okay, so she needs to spin one of these. All right, so she does that to transmute this down here. And now that she has done that, she is going, I forgot to do something over there. I was so excited about my experiment. I forgot to come over here. Oh my gosh, goodness gracious. That was a huge deal. All right, so I'm sorry, y'all. I was able to get my artifact over here, which means that I get a free ethereal dye. I was so excited to tell you to get that experiment and show y'all what that's like. I messed that up. All right, I get an ethereal dye and I get immediately a transmutation. And that's absolutely fantastic for me because I can immediately transmute that silver up to gold. And I'm going to use, I'm trying to figure out which one I want to go up. Both of these, she's really high on those tracks already. I don't think it even matters at this point right now. Let's go up this mountain track here. Okay. All right, and that gets flipped over. So let's go back to her. Sorry for the confusion. Okay, so she, again, all right, so she did that to be able to transmute that. And yeah, so she's going to slide her die up there. And okay, I'm reacting against hers. Am I? Ah! Man, this is tough. This is tough. This is tough. So part of me says, let's build fire like I've been talking about. Try to grab this, but I don't have the right die to grab that. Part of me says this isn't bad either, but I don't have any of these raw materials, so that might take a minute to grab. Whereas if I do try to get this one here in a minute, I'm gonna wait. Let's I'm put the pause button on. Okay, with that being said, I still have one more move that I can do here. And with it, I'm going to grab another essence. Because you really can't have too many essences in this game. And now I'm already down. I've already spent 2 of my dice, and she's still on her first one. Man, she is just playing better than me right now. All right, so what she knows is that she has this and that, so she needs only this to complete it, which means she needs this symbol right here, which would be here, in order to get that raw material. But she needs a black one in order to transmute it. That's interesting. That is interesting. And she's thinking about, she spent both of her reactions, so there's no way, so even if I draw a black die or something like that, she's not going to be able to use it. I was supposed to refill this as well. This is a thinky game to try to do on camera. Sorry, y'all. Especially trying to play both sides of it right here. So I apologize for missing a few of those things. Wow, this is interesting. So she needs to do this. She needs to get this black here. But she also needs the raw material. And she's going to struggle to get that if she doesn't. Wow, okay. I'm not going to play this optimally probably here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this because she does need to get this raw material. 3, she goes to 3 potency. She still chooses not to spend this. And her first move is to go ahead and get the 1 raw material here. Now, what I haven't been doing is spending more than 1. You can spend more than 1. So she could spend more than 1 right now. And she could fill this with 2 instead of 1. But she doesn't really need 2 right now. And she just wants to keep her options open for a moment. And so she's going to leave that there. Now, I'm actually looking at her, that white die, and I'm stoked that she took it because I want, oh no, I can't use it to get that. Ah! Oh man. I really want to go ahead and get another experiment. Okay. I'm not glad she took it. I'm actually frustrated because I wanted this one. But I guess they're all 2 down here, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to need a silver, which I already have, this green, and I'm going to need a red. So I'm going to need to transmute black and white. She has the white, so I really wish there was a black die of this color right here, and there's not, which stinks. Really stinks. I may have to wait till next round. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put on 2 potency. I'm debating whether I should spend this ethereal dice or ethereal token to give this one more potency here. I need 1 to be able to. Okay, so I'm going to need. The problem is I don't even have that symbol if I take this, which is what I need. Hold up. I could also look at taking this fire one here. I like that this one allows me to flip over one of my reactions again, which I haven't even used them, which is probably terrible play. This one allows me to get an ethereal die and go up on that fire track, which is something I would really like to be able to do. And if I go for this one, then I need a white die, and there's no white die there. This is why this can be some thinky stuff. But I could take this. Okay, I'm taking this, I'm flipping it over to this symbol side, and that's 3. Now let me see if I need to use that. So I can use 1 to take that. So that would make me down to 2. Then I could use, yeah, let me just go ahead and spend it. Let's make this potency 4. I think it's going to be worth it. Okay. Wow. That took me a minute to figure out in my brain. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply take this. Let's make that simple. I'm not going to play through this whole game, by the way. I'm just going to finish this round up so you can see what it's like. Let's see, does she want to react? She can't react, so it doesn't matter. She doesn't have any reaction tokens. Okay, so we're back over to her. She has, again, she's got this, she has that, she has that one. Now she has this, but she really wanted me to take a black die. I didn't take a black die, so now she's trying to figure out what to do. What's the best use? All right. I need to fill that back. Does she think about taking another experiment potentially? Because there's another one right here. Because she just, would that be, oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one. I meant to point at this one. Does she want to take this experiment right here, which is the one that I was eyeing, but now I don't have. Actually, let's go ahead and grab an essence right now. So she's using that, so she's going to grab this wheel. Again, she's still going to buy a little bit of time to think, just a little bit about what she wants to do. Okay, so it's back to my turn. I've got to use her reactions, so I'm going to go ahead and react because I do need this brown right here. So I can't remember what it is. That's it's iron. So I'm gonna react to what she did, and because she has a white die, I can transmute here. So I need to be up on the fire track, which I am already, so it doesn't really matter. But I could go ahead and spin this and get that chameleon. That's what I'm going to do. Sweet. All right, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to transmute there. I'm going to go up on this track, which then gets me this chameleon. I'll take this off, and I'll grab this chameleon, which is nice because now it's going to let me act like I have a die face or color of a different one, which is nice and sweet. I spent my 1 potency there. Now I've got that and that one. Excuse me, that and that. And so what now I just need these 2 right here. So, okay, that's cool. Let me just, let me leave it at that there. All right, so she's going to come back over here, and now let's see what she's going to do. She has 1 of these left to spin. She had just had some time to try to buy some time to think through this. She's just going to grab, well, she could have done that just earlier. She could have, like I said, she could have spent 2, but she's going to go ahead and grab 1 more raw material, thinking, why not, right? It's good to have a lot of materials in this game. I'm going to not react to this yet because I want to see what color dye she gets. I want to see what symbol she gets over there. I'm going to spend a potency here to grab a raw material here. Yeah, just to grab this 1 raw material for now. All right, she can't react, so now what does she want to do? Okay, she has to she wants to draw a black die so that she can finish this transmutation here and finish her second experiment. So she can draw, there's 3 different choices. She does need to be up 3 on the wave track, which she already is. So she doesn't have to worry about which essence to grab there. So she's going to grab, I don't know if it matters too terribly much to her. The triangle, she might get another triangle essence. So she's going to grab this, which gives her 2 potency. She goes ahead and spins her ethereal die as well because she realizes that's not a lot of potency there. So let's go ahead and spin that so she can get some more actions. Then she's going to finally spend that potency. She's been waiting to be able to transmute this. And she's going to then spend, let's see. Yes, she's going to spend this essence, which will move her up on this track, which then gives her another ethereal die, which is sweet for her. And she transmuted this because she spent her black. All right, cool. Which means she has this. She has this, and this, and boom. At the end of that round, she now has this, which now she gets to use this thing. Here, let's zoom in on this real quick. now what she can do is she is going to get one transmutation, and she can take 2 raw materials and turn them into, or raw material, excuse me, and turn it into a refined material, and she can do that 2 times. All right, so she is going to do that. So all right, so first thing she's going to do is she's going to do that. You can transmute two refined materials into, raw into refined, which is such a sweet deal. She's thinking that she's going to grab this card here because that's the die that she grabbed. So she knows that she's going to need one of these. She also knows that she's going to need one of those. So she's going to go ahead and change those 2. So she was able to take 2 raw and turn them into 2 refined materials just like that. And then now she is able to actually, hold up, because she gets a free transmutation. So let me think about this for 1 second. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Because I want to keep this here. Now she gets a transmutation, and she's going to go ahead, even though she doesn't need silver, she's going to grab one because she's going to get 1 step closer to gold. I think that's a smart move. So she'll spend her essence, because you still spend your essence even when you get not the free, but you get the transmutations. All right, which that was this one, I believe. I just tossed it over there. I'm pretty sure it was this track right here, and she got that. So now she's got a silver. Wow, that's pretty solid. And so she took her bonuses. Now she's going to toss this behind this blue part here, and now she gets to pick one of these. Now this is going to allow her to recharge 2, or I think she's going to take this, which is going to get her 2 transmutations. And now her choices are interesting, because if she goes here, she would have 2 permanent more reactions for the rest of the game. That's huge. But if she goes here, she gets a gold immediately, and then she can flip 2 of these over, which this is not. The frustrating thing is this is not the ideal time to do that because of that. However, she has a silver right here, and she would have a gold. She would be able to immediately, if she gets a gold, she's immediately able to spend. She can spend a gold to take one of these because the first one costs 1. So she's thinking, let's get a gold, and then I'll get the reactions quick enough. So she places this here. She immediately gets a gold, and then her 2 reaction tokens flip back over, which again, maybe she'll be able to use them both and do okay with them, but she really wanted that gold. She's going to wait a second, and then she'll just decide on her next turn, she'll go ahead and she'll spend that because that's one of her free actions to get another one of those. All right, so now that she did that, I want to react against what she just did, because then I can take this, go on this black track here because her die was black. I am going to do that, and then I'm going to use this essence. So that means I go up on this track. So that's the first time I go up on that track. I wonder if I have used that and have forgotten to use it. I don't know, but I need to put something. I need to figure out a way to transmute that. I mean, because I'm gonna, because I'm wasting that, because this gets reset at the end of the round. I mean, a complete waste of getting that if I don't do that. I may have already done it and I totally forgot about it, which is possible since I'm trying to play 2 sides here. All right, so let's go back here because I didn't do my move. I just reacted to hers. I don't have that. I do now have this and this. So these are the 2 things that I'm looking for. This is what I need. So I do have this down here, and I do have that. So the problem now is that I just spent to react to get that. I don't have any more essence. So I need to get an essence. And so I will go here and grab this triangle essence for my move there. And then she realizes I've only got another move left, so she has to react against it. I mean, you might as well. And she could flip this over, but she's so late in the game, it's probably not going to be worth it, and I'm not going to think that through. So what she's going to do now is, let's see, she's going to take this. And so does she need any of that? She doesn't really need that. But maybe it couldn't hurt. You know what? Just for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and react against it and grab one of those raw materials. Okay, now since it's her turn, she's going to spend her 1 to grab this, and now she has another experiment. I can't react against it. This round is almost over. We've almost made it through. If you thought this was brain burnery enough, trying to play two players on camera, this is not so easy. All right, so now I am going to... I need this, but okay, yeah. So I'm going to spend my last one to go... Man, that just really stinks that I wasted that. What a waste. This player's playing so much better than me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that because I can't get a material, and there's no... I could, and then I could react against her. I don't have a reaction. Never mind. I was going to say I could use my chameleon, turn it into that dice face, so I could do that, but then reacting against her is impossible because I don't have those, and I don't have anything to flip it back over. So, that really stinks. Got 3 victory points, and that I just wasted that. What a dummy. Okay, whatever. I'm going to spend the last potency and this essence right here to go up on this track and to transmute that one over there. Okay, now it's her final turn, but because she realized I did my final turn, she's going to react against that as well. And she doesn't have any essences, so she's going to come down here and she's going to react, and when she reacts, she's able to grab an essence and does just that. And now for her final turn, she doesn't have this. She does have this, and she does have that. What does she want to do here? She can't do any transmutations. She could grab another one of these raw materials. I don't know if that's really super beneficial because it's not for what she wants to do there. Does she just do that? I think she just grabs another essence. Like, let's just keep it. You always need essence in this game, I think. So, not I think, I know. You always need some essence. So let's just grab some essences there. And that's it. That's one round of this game. Now, that would spend her last, would go here. And then we would be re-rolling the dice. We'd be changing out, moving the level 2 cards up here as well. And having level 2 of artifacts down there. So and we'll just keep going and playing. This plays out over 3 rounds, so you just saw a third of a game. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the art and components. Now, the art in this game is fantastic for me. I think I love this board right here. I think it's so pretty clean, but nice. Like, got the chalk there, you got these written things here. I think it's really nice. This track looks really clean. It stands out. These books are awesome. I like these. These are kind of dark, but I still like them. I think that they're really cool. I like the dark contrast with the light tabletop that you have right here. Now, you see that I have these component trays. You would place them up here, but I like them in my trays, so that's why they're there. But as far as the art, it's really, really good, and the components are solid. I mean, these are nice cards. These are just regular pieces of cardboard. They're not super thick, not super thin either. They are what they are. These are nice and decently thick. So the components are good. And these wooden pieces are pretty neat here. So, this is my jam, y'all. Give me some decent wooden tokens. Give me some cardboard. These are nice etched dice. Just give me some cardboard and some wood, and, charge me a decent price. That's where I'm at. I don't have to have the $100 deluxeified, all that kind of stuff. This is where I'm at, and that's just kind of my style. It's my jam. The only complaint, I guess I'll say, is, and I don't know how you could really fix this if you want to stay thematic, but it's these symbols. And the symbols on these dice, like especially these two, when we first started playing this game, we messed it up all the time. We would accidentally just toss one in there because they look so similar, especially when they're all just kind of spun around or whatever. This one and this one looks fairly similar. It's a little bit easier to tell the difference, but I'll just say that it kind of stinks that several of these metal symbols right here just look so similar to the other ones, and it can be a little bit frustrating. I just mainly say that to say watch out for that whenever you're playing the game. I don't know if I would want it any other way, because again, it does stay thematic by keeping those symbols on there. But that's the art and the components. Let's look at the gameplay. All right, so let's talk about gameplay. And man, there is a lot going on in this game. You know, you have the simple mechanic of drafting a die, and when you draft it, you have that potency, you up your potency level, and then after that, you have, several actions you can do, but it's not like 15 actions. And yet, there's a lot that's going on in your brain because you have raw materials. You have the refined materials that you're trying to get with the experiments. You're trying to decide which experiment that you want. You're trying to think about the color of the die because that matters for how you're going to be transmuting them. So you grab an experiment maybe, and you're wrapping your mind around, okay, how could I, as quickly and most efficiently as possible, complete this experiment? And you're also looking at, your opponent or opponents and seeing what they're drafting because you have those reaction tokens. So when you're making your move, man, there's just a lot that you're thinking about in this game. And I mentioned the reaction tokens because that's a big positive for me in this game, because I like games where maybe, and I don't mind direct conflict in certain games, but there's certain types of games I would rather not to have like a bunch of direct conflict. The only conflict really in this game would be, oh, you took the die that I really, really wanted. But besides that, you have this positive reaction thing where whatever your opponents are doing, you can flip your reaction token over and then react against it, and you get a benefit from that. I think that's brilliant, and I think that's really, really fun in the game. I just like how all of this comes together. Some other positive to this game is simply, I said there's a lot going on, but you feel really clever when it all lines up. When you're making moves, like when I was doing the playthrough, the opponent that I was playing was making some good moves and much more efficiently than I was. And when you're doing that in this game, because it's thinky, you feel smart. You feel like, wow, I made some good moves, and it's awesome. When you're not, you're like, it can be like, it can really feel bad whenever you're just making some mistakes. And that's the thing about this game is I feel like it's pretty, it's not very forgiving. Like if you make some mistakes in the game and your opponents are playing efficiently, sometimes it can be hard to come back from choosing the wrong die or not using your reaction at the right time because now you don't have the right colored die and you need to transmute and you should have used it when someone else had that and you didn't realize it was their last turn, whatever it may be. And making those mistakes, because can be really detrimental in this game, because I feel like when you get your experiment cards, you gotta have to have everything lined up in your brain, and and you just gotta have it all figured out. It's kind of like what the feel I got when I played Paladins of the West Kingdom, where I feel like I had to get everything in a line in my brain and make sure I followed through and didn't screw it up in order to complete the task that I'm trying to do. And if you take a rung out of the ladder that you've built, then it can really hose you in this game, and it can make you wait till you get your next die, make you wait till the next round to be able to get whatever you wanted to get, and then by that time your opponents may be so far ahead of you. But again, the cool thing, but when you get it all lined up, it feels awesome. And I like how there's a lot of different ways to score points. I like the track that you're going up. That's really, really fun. Okay, so let's just kind of go into my final thoughts on this game. Again, there's a lot going on. This is a heavy game. This is up towards the top of what I generally like to play. And I don't want to play this game all the time, though I really like this game. I don't want to play it all the time because I don't want my brain to think that hard all the time. A lot of times I just want to sit back and play a medium weight Euro and have a game that's thinky, but not one that I'm just racking my brain. When I'm playing this game, I'm wholly engaged because I'm racking my brain all the time, even when my opponents are playing, because there's just so much to think about in this game. Now, this is fun at 2 players. It's better at a higher player count, I think, because the reactions, you get to react against all your opponents versus 1, but I've played it plenty of times at 2, and I really like it, in case you want to know. This game is a good game. Again, not one I'm going to always want to play, but if I want to play a heavy game, this is a good one. And Daniele Tessini is really, really rising. I mean, he's getting to be one of my favorite designers. And Federico, I can't remember his last name. This is his first design with him. I think they did a fantastic job. That's if you're looking for a pretty heavy Euro. If you want something that's toned down a little bit, maybe a midweight, this is getting into that heavy a brain burnery type of a game. But if you like that type of a game, I think you gotta check this thing out. If you don't, then it probably is not for you. In fact, the person that I bought this from at a flea market played half of a game and then sold it because I think it was just probably too much brain burner action going on for them. But I still like it. So if I want to have a nice brain burner, I do enjoy this game. I wrestled back and forth between a 7.5 and an 8 on this simply because of the BGG scale and how much I want to play it. But it's a good game. I'm giving this 8 out of 10, which is a really good score. I thoroughly enjoy Trismegistus. Again, if you want that heavier type of a game, if you like those types of games, man, you got to check this one out. This is really, really good. If you don't, it may not be for you. That's 8 out of 10. If you're enjoying our channel, we would love for you to subscribe. Even click on that bell for notifications. We also have a podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all that good stuff. Just search Meepletown. We're at Meepletown Games on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And we're meepletowngames.com if you want to check our website out. And finally, Board Game Geek Guild 3407. Thanks for coming down to Meepletown.
Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at Meepletown Games, and connect with us on the Meepletown Guild, Guild number 3407, at BoardGameGeek.com, and also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks for coming down to Meepletown.